Hello and welcome to Supernova Spotlight. I'm Adrienne Elise, and I am so honored to be here today with Michiko Hayashi. Michiko is the global director and ambassador of the Emoto Peace Project, started by Dr. Emoto, located in Tokyo, Japan. It's wonderful to be with you here today, Michiko. Thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you so much, Adrian. It's an honor to be able to be here with you and with everybody, your audience. Thank you so much. How
Wonderful.
fun this is going to be.
Yay. The title that came forward around this talk together today is Translating the Message from Water. And that's kind of a cool story. I would love to hear more about. Most of us are familiar with Dr. Moto's work, but we'll be talking more about that, getting into it. And it's very exciting that Michiko is going to be coming to the US for a World Water Festival tour and in October 2024. So we'll get into all of that, but um, I want to learn a little bit about you, Michiko, and how you came to work with Dr. Emoto. And this Emoto Peace Project is something that you started together
Yeah.
as assistant when he was still with us. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I was born and raised in Japan until I was 18, and my father was a Buddhist priest. So I learned so much from my father. I really respected my father, the way he lived, how humble and how intelligent he was, and how uh, kind and altruistic he was. So and that was I think that was my base. And he allowed me to do anything I wanted to do. He never stopped anything. And then, so I went to the United States to study in college in Portland, Oregon. After graduation from my study in the US, I came back to Japan, started working, and I got married when I was 24. And I had my son, our son, I have two sons, and they are grown-ups now. But when my sons were small, when they were small, I wanted to be their mother and stayed home for them. So what I could do, staying at home, was to write the books. So I started writing books of like technical books of how people can study to be able to pass the English exam. And that was one of the major things that I was doing. But at the same time, because my husband was a copyrights manager of the publisher, so I started translating books also from English into Japanese. And when in 2004, that was in March, I finished translation of the of Starbucks book from English into Japanese. When I finished it, I wanted to take 3 months off, and I bought 10 books online, and two books out of those were Dr. Moto's books. And one was about Hado. Hado means vibration, because he was the master of Hado technology here in Japan at that time. So he wrote more than 11 books about Hado vibration. And the second book that I bought from of him was about water. And the title was Water Talks, or something like that in English, I would say, translate. And there I saw the water crystal pictures of love and gratitude and thank you and you fool. And though when I saw those, I had goosebumps, and I knew that was the truth. So, and then I went to see his website. There he said, I need someone who can help me with the copyrights to my books. So I felt, well, he needs me. See, I wanted to take 3 months off, but I felt he needs me. So I called his company, and they wanted to see me. So I met, for the first time, I met his wife. Then his wife Mrs. Emoto and I just click like this. The moment we met each other, we were like sisters and started to laugh and just talk and talk and laugh. And that was the beginning of the day I started to work for them. And that was
Wow.
2004 in March. So it's
And
been
I heard
two
you talk about, yeah. So so then it was about 10 or 11 years you said that you were working with him?
with Dr. Emoto until
Mhm.
2014, October of 2014.
Okay.
Right.
And so I had heard you say that this you felt like a part of the family, that
Yeah.
you felt connected to them in that
Mm-hmm.
way. And
Right. Because even now, Mrs. Emoto comes into the office uh, a couple of times a month, and she is actually the president or top the president of this nonprofit organization, Emoto Peace Project, after Dr. Emoto passed. And the reason why is because she asked me to be the president of this nonprofit organization, but at that time, I said, no, this is not mine. And Dr. Emoto would be really happy if you are the president. I will do all the work for you. And all you have to do is just to be here as the president. You don't have to do anything. Like that, we were just so close. Dr. Emoto was in the office always, and Mrs. Emoto would be there always together. They were together always. And their son, Hiro, is the son, and he is now the president of the company. And so we were all together every day, spending from morning to evening, or would be traveling together. So we were just like Emoto family always, even now.
that's so sweet. Well, I can feel um how happy he is that you're carrying on this
Thank
impulse with
you.
him in your pure heart. And it's
Thank
going to
you.
be so fun to meet you in person and talk more about all of this. Um, but what was it like when so you saw the water crystals and you must have
Hmm.
felt, I mean, it sounds like when you went to the website and he needed, you said, oh, you just knew, you just felt it.
Right. Well, see, before that, I really did not know anything about Dr. Emoto, nothing about water crystals. And that was the first time I saw the pictures of crystals. And so after that, when I started working for Dr. Emoto, and we have the lab where we take water crystal photos and observe the waters and everything. When my first the, for the first time when I saw the water crystals growing actually in the lab, I just felt so that was a sacred field to me, and to see the water crystal like this growing, um, but you have to observe with the microscope of 200 times magnification. Otherwise, we can't see it with our naked eyes. But it's the proof that there exists crystals in the water. And it's just so beautiful, beautiful. And the life of water crystal is only like within less than 3 minutes. They grow and then melt. And during
Wow.
that time, water shows or is trying to tell us what kind of water that is, or what kind of information the water received. And it's really amazing and touching and
Wow,
so
that's so,
grateful.
what a great story. Thanks for sharing that. And we talk a lot about in Amoto's work, the crystals show what we could do when we affect how we can our consciousness can affect water. Um, and so we can want to talk to the water. And you've told us, remind us again and again to um, understand that we're water ourselves and we're emitting frequency, and so to be conscious of what we're emitting as
Mhm.
water. And this this experience of having that crystal come into form and melt away. So it's almost like you could say, well, that crystal. So I guess I guess the focus when we talk about Emoto's work is talking to the water and see what happens. But what you're talking about is the saying that the water also has, and what Emoto is telling us too in the title of the book, that the water has a message for us as well.
Right. And I think water is really trying to um, let us know that water is not just a substance or what liquid, but it is conscious being. It just feels what we are saying or what we are even thinking without saying out loud, but just thinking within us or feeling within us. And water feels it in the air. There's water in the air. There's water within us. There's water in the hair. There's water in the blood. And there's water in the soil. There's water in everywhere around on the earth or within the earth, on earth. The earth is the water planet, and we are water beings. Everything is water, and every single water receives what we are thinking, how we are thinking, feeling, what we are saying, what we are doing. And water is transmitter or a conductor of our consciousness, because the waters have the networks in the air within our body, and water molecules always have the networks, and they communicate, and that's how they send the messages. And so that's why I say water is the conductor of all vibrations. Yeah, our consciousness, what we think, how we feel, are vibrations. Whether it's good or not, they're all vibrations. And that, depending on, or no matter what kind of vibration they are, water is emitting that, delivering that instantaneously all around the world, and with the speed of light. And the speed of light is like it goes around the earth 7.5 times around the earth in 1 second. That's that fast. So that's why it's just like how we can see each other. I mean, you, Adrienne, and being in Tokyo, and you are living in Montana, and that huge distance. But we can just get connected like this, and water does too. And
Wow.
that's what water is just trying to say, and water does receive. And the message that water is trying to say is, if we send our love and gratitude to, to us, to everything around us, if we don't take anything for granted, because it's a miracle that we have this morning, I woke up this morning. It's miracle that I can see you. It's miracle I have my fingers working for me. It's miracle that I have this air condition when it's so hot outside. Everything is to be grateful for. So what Dr. Emoto used to say, and this was the most important message that he wanted to share with everyone. That's the message from water. The message that water, well, the crystal, the most beautiful crystal that water made was this. And it's from two words together. That's from love and gratitude. And Dr. Emoto kept thinking, why did water create or responded uh, so beautifully, most beautifully, to love and gratitude. There must be the reason why. Then he came up. He said, I know now. I said, he said, the creator. If you want to say God, you can. The source, you can. But whoever created this earth, he designed this earth with love and gratitude. So that's why water, because water is the messenger of God. Or toward the end, Dr. Emoto used to say, water is God. And he said, if we, each person receives God's love, who is sending us light of love, if to all people, no matter who they are, who we are, it can be someone who, the murder, someone, or can be someone who stole something from someone else, but God gives his love through light every morning. For everybody, morning comes and night comes, summer comes and winter comes. So he, the creator, gives all his love to everyone equally, to all beings. And so if we receive, each person receives God's love, one love, with two gratitudes, then one would stay within me and one would go shift to love and give to you, Adrian. And if you receive my love with two gratitudes, then one would stay within you, and what one gratitude would change to love and given to someone else. So it will start just going everywhere, all around the world. And that's how the world will be a peaceful place. And that's why he said, Dr. Emoto said, water responded so most beautifully to love and gratitude.
It is a beautiful
So
crystal. And that's where you talked about the H2O, right?
exactly.
So now we have the formula.
Mm-hmm. H2O. Yeah.
And that's a really beautiful thing as we talk about working with Russ and Clearwater Vision, who's helping to bring you for this World Water Festival tour in America in the Western US in October 2024. Russ, we're talking about the magic of water, and we get into this, and something happens in the energy field. It's like it kind of slows down or opens up, and there's a real quiet to it. This um, gratitude, I feel like that comes through when we're talking to the water. Um, Emoto saying we're talking to God, or
Mhm.
maybe we're when you were talking about this, the extra the extra gratitude and the way it makes energy flow, and it makes me think of where we're moving into in the new paradigms of abundance economy, and this when you come into this magic of the water, like you said, the miracle of this every moment of this day. And I just imagined that that's must have been what it felt like working in this laboratory on these discoveries, and the miracle of the power of this consciousness. And so it's got this when we talk and we connect with this energy and understand the water, it brings that gratitude, and it brings that flow, it brings that abundance, it brings this that's the you know free energy is like a
Mhm.
feminine form of electricity, which is the flow. And
Mhm.
so that's the water as well. And um so it brings forward this abundance. The extra gratitude is really what
Mhm.
brings us into that new abundance economy. So tell us, I want to just feel into this energy of the miracle of what it was like to be in that lab and experiences those crystals firsthand. And maybe you have a few pictures for us.
Yes, I can share if you allow me to share some of the water crystals. Let's see. All right. Actually, let's see. There are many water crystals, but okay. Um, well, to start with, I would like to share this beautiful water crystal of from Clearlake, California, where we're going in
Oh,
October.
beautiful.
It's as Russell said, Dr. Emoto had said when he saw this water crystal from Clearlake, he said that this is the most complex water. Each water is different. And complexity of water is how water molecules are small, cluster is really small. And the smaller the water molecules are, clusters are, the more better for the health of for the health of water, health of nature, health of us humanities also. So um it was so beautiful, and we need to be maintaining this beautiful crystal of Clearlake. And it shows how this I heard that this Clearlake is the oldest lake of the of America. So uh, this is really beautiful, and I wanted everyone to see that.
Thank you, and I'm
And
so excited. This is one of the locations that Michiko will be at in the first weekend of October. And check out the interview Supernova Spotlight with Russ Anderson when he talks about the primary water and Clear Lake and how he came into the awareness of the pollution in Clear Lake. And yet, so we've got a very polluted lake due to mercury, and yet this incredible ancient wisdom. I know Russ talks about the water being new, the structured complexity being new and being reborn, but to me, I feel like all those little crystals, the smaller molecules are like ancient wisdom and enthroned in the water in this and that structure. So it's very interesting to go work at this lake. It'll be very powerful, and this is why Russ wanted you to come, so we can pray to the water, we can talk to the water, we can heal the water, heal ourselves. And so yeah.
yeah, I if I may, I would like to share um do it and let's do it. Here. Okay. These are the crystals from Let's Do It, when we say with the respect to water, to anyone, to our families and friends, and to pets and anything. The water responds so nicely and very gentle. But when we say with the order form, do it, it's a really destructive, aggressive way of saying. So water really cannot form the beautiful crystal. So it shows water is showing that, saying that let's respect everyone, everything, all around us. I mean, of course, yourself too. Everything starts from yourself. So this is something, I mean, we don't really have to try to say much when we see the water crystals, how water is really trying to share everything with us. Now, you're beautiful and I love you. Of course, all the beautiful words. Water is really happy to receive such beautiful vibration. And
Mhm.
then compassion. Yes, this is what the world we are getting in right now. This is what we all want to share, to live in compassion. Um, then the world will be a harmonious place where we live. And water really needs it. And see, I will show some more. Um, can I show this how what he said about
Yes.
Einstein's? Okay. This is the formula of Einstein's formula of E equals mc square. It's as everybody mostly know about this, energy is mass times speed of light square. But Dr. Emoto's interpretation was energy is number of people, man, or I would say, times consciousness square. This means, he said, this means the more people with higher consciousness, the energy becomes better. So, in another word, if there are more and more people with higher, better consciousness, with kindness, love, and gratitude, then the energy of the world will become better. We have the problem of the population, growing the population. But what Dr. Emoto said, I clearly remember this. He said, God provides everything we need only if we share
Mhm.
with everyone. So he said, we have abundance of food, just like abundance of air, abundance of water, if we only share. The problem now, current present problem is, he said, that some people always try to possess, don't want to share. So he said, sharing is the most important thing. Okay. Um, so the next one is, this is, oops, you having the problem. Okay, this is chemical formula of water, H2O. Masaru Emoto's formula is change placing oxygen into love and changing hydrogens to gratitudes. And that's why one love and two gratitudes make the peaceful and harmonious place. And that's he said this must be a fantasy, but if this fantasy makes the peaceful world, this is the best.
Mhm.
See, this is how love and gratitude goes all around the world and making the peaceful world. Okay. All right. So the beautiful crystals are showing. And here's another one I would like to share. Is that okay, Adrian?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Okay. This is the prayer experiment at Fujiwara Dam. This water at the dam, the lake, was polluted, and the citizen there, someone from around that area, called Dr. Emoto and asked to help and cleanse, clear this water of the dam. So what he did was he asked one of the Buddhist priests to come along with him and offer the prayer to water. And then this is before the water, the same water of that Fujiwara Dam. And after the prayer, the water molecule changed to this beautiful, brilliant water. That's how powerful our prayer is. If we purely pray to water, it receives what we are emitting in response to it. And that's why we would like to offer the prayer to all the waters. And we are the droplet or one drop of God. We have the gods within us. And that God responds to what we are praying also. Okay. Oops. Am I going too fast? Adrian?
Well, let's talk about this for a moment.
Okay. Should I
Here,
just
because
stop?
Well, actually, this is a good topic here, that the graph with the because I wanted
Okay,
to talk to you about the World Water Festival that you started in, is it 2021 that started?
2022.
2022.
22. Uh-huh.
And so you'll be having this again this year, the World
Here
Water Festival.
in September next month on the 21st and 22nd.
Wonderful.
So,
Well, that is the same date of our Supernova event in Montana. And so we're really
mhm.
hoping to tie that in and be a part of these prayers and meditations, just what we're talking about. The World Water Festival focusing on worldwide, bringing our energy together to love and talk and bring our gratitude to the water. It's very
We'll be
beautiful. And this
connecting.
is, yes. And that will start the tour because just after the World Water Festival in Japan, Michiko will come and fly to San Francisco and head to Sedona, Arizona, Clearlake, where we just saw that beautiful crystal from California, and other dates moving to Mount Shasta and Seattle. So look out for more information. You can find that at clearwatervision.org, Russ Anderson's organization, and also donate to help us support Michiko's trip and come along on this water tour where we pray and talk and listen and sing and dance with the water. So what is this graph here?
Graph here. Okay, this is the water prayer we did with in 2022 during the World Water Festival. On that At that time we had just one day of this event, and we because it was still under COVID, we had 100 people at the venue, and 500 people joined us online to offer the prayer. And we collected water, local water from that area where we had this World Water Festival. And we did the test of course, water crystal photos of before and after. And we tested with GDV to check with the light of the water. And here, the graph is made by the specialist of water pollution who cleanses the water and purifies the polluted water. And this company has been doing that over like 15 years. And they came with their own facility to check with the our prayer water of before and after prayer. And so you can see electric conductivity and resistance and all that. And at the end, where it says COD, yeah, COD means chemical oxygen demand. And that's the level that shows the level of pollution in water. And this expert who did the experiment said, amazing thing happened. All these more than 15 years he had been working, this never happened, he said, because before the prayer, the water COD value was 15. And the COD value 15 means fish. It was so polluted that fish could not even stay alive in that water. But just by praying to the same water with 100 people it, at the venue and 500 people from around the world online sending the prayer to that same water, the COD value went down to 7. 7 means the water is not polluted, that fish can stay alive and can live in that water. So this expert was really surprised because he said to clear the water, clean the polluted water, sometimes it takes more than half a year. And also they have to use some kind of technology to or chemicals to clean that water. But just if collectively, if we send this pure prayer to water, we can even purify the polluted water collectively together. Isn't that beautiful?
It's
And
so
this is really
powerful.
science. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
powerful.
it's great to have that this that you were able to get them to bring this, show these results and how exciting for the work that we get to do together this year as we connect into that World Water Festival. And it looks like you've got the link here if you want to find out more about tapping into the energy of those meditations. So you are going to have people in person at this
We will,
event.
yes, this year, um, just like last year, we're going to do it in the place called Kumamoto Prefecture in Kyushu Island. It's rather southern island, and it's a very sacred place with abundance of um, um, underground water. And there are five huge mountains. It's caldera. So we're using that energy just like a satellite, the form of satellite. So sending our prayer to the universe of our love and gratitude, and much of our prayers to all waters all around the earth. And people were last year we had 2,000 people at the venue, and this year we're expecting about 10,000 people at the venue, and online we would like to have 100,000 people joining us real time. And you can join us and offer the prayer at the same time. We are connecting with the native people around the world. So I will just share that time with you so you can do the prayer and we can connect online real time at that time. And you can show how you're praying there in Montana. And we'll be broadcasting that around the world. So that would be really amazing.
That's so
Exciting.
wonderful, Michiko, because this event is being held in Montana at the same time is also a caldera. So we'll be connecting
Wow.
through the Ring of Fire,
Mhm.
as Russ calls it, these underground passageways, the lifeblood, the meridians of Mother Earth. And it's interesting as we were talking through um, starting to getting ready this tour together and planning these events is so exciting, and realizing that the locations that Michiko is coming to, all of them are known as stargates. So apparently we are having a stargate tour as well, as we have this beautiful impulse started with the World Water Festival in Japan, and then a tour in the Western US where we just amplify and
Oh my
share
God.
and uh, link together the ring of fire and energy and heal the wounds of what's happened on this earth. I heard you talk about um, bringing back our beautiful, loving mother, and
Right. And
this is taking responsibility for our experience and communication with her.
right, because I have traveled in 36 countries after Dr. Emoto, after succeeded Dr. Emoto's work, Emoto Peace Project in 2014. And everywhere I visited, I discovered that their local waters are all polluted. They would all come to me and say, our lake here is polluted. What can I do? What can we do? What should we do?" And wherever I went, people would say, well, this even Lake Titicaca in that highest altitude, the water was so polluted, and we offer the prayer at that time. So when you go around, you can see the whole earth is now, the water is crying, and it's our responsibility now to purify it, to apologize, to respect, and to say we love you and we thank you so much for putting up with us and still giving us life. So now it's our time to offer love and gratitude, and we will take care of you, and let's live in harmony together because we are one. And water connects. It doesn't matter what kind of water it is. It's a muddy, dirty water or clear water. They are one. They become one. Water does not divide anything. It flows where it's needed. So we become one like water does and flow like water does with love and gratitude. So I would like everyone to come together at the all the places we will be with Adrian and with Russell and with our friends, and let's all get together for love of water, and let's have fun because water loves when we're having fun, and that's why Dr. Emoto used to um, have enjoyed getting together with everyone and singing and dancing and all that because he always said water loves it. So that's what
Oh,
we
that's
would
so
like to do.
beautiful. Yes, that is so beautiful, and we are, uh, in this energy you're talking about, talking to the earth, or I mean, it's beautiful as we talk about, you said we're talking about bringing back beautiful Mother Earth, healing our earth, and um, to feel that we can do something, right? We can
Right.
pray, we can use our consciousness, we have this power, and to see the
Exactly.
results of this, you know? And so,
There,
can you go ahead?
mhm.
Sorry.
I mean, we don't have to spend any money to change the world, to change your life, to change our family for the better. All we can do is to be um in love and gratitude. When we have that beautiful energy, it expands because every all is energy, vibration. It emits from us, and that goes that fat instantaneously everywhere. You know, we don't need anything else. Isn't that beautiful?
That's so beautiful, and it makes me think of when I started coming into this water consciousness and, the supernova tribe that the people that, follow me, we have found ourselves really connected to this energy of the mother and feeling that our Mother Earth, we can have understand that she's a living, breathing goddess. And then we started talking to her and getting messages from her, and then realizing that she indeed is the same voice as the water speaking to us,
Mm,
and that she says our body is her body, and that everything that you're speaking of, and when we
yeah,
say this
beautiful.
this abundance, this love. And I wanted to ask you about this. You showed the picture briefly, but speaking of this consciousness and speaking to the water, and it's a mutual reciprocity, right? From the beginning we're talking about the water as a message for us in its receiving of our messages, and
Mhm.
then we can give the water the message, so like a mutual reciprocity. But tell us about this noodle experiment that you did.
Oh, okay. Yes, that was 2021 when all the people around the world was really, let me see, okay, right here. People were so worried and oh, did I share? No, I'm sorry. I need to share, right? Okay, share. All right. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Okay. This is experiments. One of the experiments I did, and this is a remote experiment with what I did was I bought the 3 packages of noodles that was already cooked, boiled noodles. And what I did was I put each noodle in the paper plate, and all I did was to put A and B and C, and I asked people on Facebook to join me and do this remote um, experiment. And I had one person, one lady from the East Coast of the United States, and another one from West Coast of the United States, one from Mexico, one from England, one from somewhere in Japan. And they were all living in different places. And so to those five people, I sent this picture of noodles and said, to C noodle, we want to send positive thoughts. To B noodle, we want to send negative thoughts. And A noodle needs to be ignored. So I showed this picture at the beginning, and then from the next day, I did not show this A noodle because it was supposed to be ignored. And to B noodle, I showed B noodle and asked people to send negative thoughts to this B noodle. And after that, to C noodle, please send positive thought to this. And I did this with five people remotely sending their thoughts. And after 3 weeks is this result. And now you can see how even our thoughts can affect the noodle or physically the substance from just by sending our thoughts. So it's not only water pollution, but the reason why this result happens is because of water. See, there's water in the air everywhere, and as I said, water communicates with each network, because they have network. And so instantaneously that thoughts goes everywhere around the world. And noodle is cooked in water. So this happens accordingly. Water is the conductor of the thoughts, our vibrations. So prayers do affect if we are purely sending beautiful prayers to water. So and this is something that we can do from everywhere around the
It's
world.
it's very powerful to see this experiment and to feel it. It's like we can see it in the water, in the crystals, and this is kind of a validation on another level. And I think it's so interesting because we're talking about bringing Russ really wanted to bring you here to do the prayers for Clearlake in California, and that's been a dream of his to
Yeah.
help this LM tribe, the small tribe that lives at the base of this lake, and we'll be going there and learning and being with the elders of this tribe in Clear Lake, California. That's the first weekend of October. And there's a woman from Mount Shasta that's helping us with the Mount Shasta event. Her name is Verushka, and she did some work that she talked about with the water, Clear Lake, some intuitive work, and
Mhm.
with doing her tapping and I believe flower essences. And the flower essence that she found when we went back, maybe you have that picture again. We could look at that Clear Lake crystal again.
Okay. Let's see.
And so this lake has this, it's an ancient lake with this beautifully structured, powerful water. And yet it's been so polluted, almost as if it's been targeted on some level. And so but what we saw when, like in the picture of the do it and just do it,
Hmm.
the difference between the water hearing and the prayers after the polluted water and then after the prayers and the picture of that that the
Okay.
water responds to us and that it can only respond though to its level of complexity perhaps with this. So the Clear Lake has such potential and power to be cleaned with our intention and our prayers and our love. And
Sure.
so but it's very interesting because what Varushka found that came forward was that there was the flower essence that was indicated for Clear Lake was had an energy of being unwanted. And it's so
Oh,
interesting that when we look at the noodle experiment and the ignoring and how negative that is beyond the negative thoughts even.
mhm.
And that when we were talking in the interview with Russ and beginning, to talk to this consciousness, the primary water, coming into the awareness of the power of that water is our consciousness on earth, representing, and that the water wants to, is perhaps feeling ignored, and like you said, and if we see it as, if we want to say, a personification of the waters of earth and Mother Earth and Gaia, and we want to call her this mother, that she feels like, you want to come use my water, you want to drink my water, but you're not, you don't want to talk to me,
You
you don't want to connect with me. and
mhm.
and I just thought that that was so powerful, that that was demonstrated in your noodle experiment as well.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. I think water really wants us to know that water is there for you, and just talk to me and say what you want, and then I'll give it to you. So we should be saying thank you to water, because it was very interesting. Last year, I think it was early this year, when I was asked to give just some words for the World Water Festival, when we were just having the event to present what the World Water Festival would be like. So I said, it's not my words. Dr. Emoto should have something that he would like to share this time. So I was just looking at his books, and there was a one phrase that really hit me. And there he said, water has been all around us for years and years, thousands of years, since the beginning of the earth. And we have had so much of experience, well, life with by given by water. And how many of us have appreciated water? What have we done to give back life to water? The life of water is our life, because we are water. The future of water is future of our life, he said. So that's what really water wants to say. That's what Dr. Emoto really wants to say. And I will be just saying exactly what he said in his book. And so water would not be happy if it's ignored, unwanted, because we want water. We need water. So water needs our feeling, response, and respect more than anything, I think.
It's
Yeah.
so interesting in the personification of the feminine, and in watching the crystals and how sensitive, how different it is. It's like the crystal, and almost this, how we know we need to clean up our earth, come back to the earth, and love, fall back in love with Mother Earth, and we know we need to balance the feminine, the masculine on the planet. And it's kind of this energy of the feminine, dynamic of this, over
Mhm,
of the sensitivity. You can see it in the crystals of, like,
mhm,
um just the slightest energy change, and it
mhm,
responds. And so what a beautiful intimacy. That's the feeling of this, coming into this consciousness of water, the magic, the power of this consciousness that we're working with. And like you were talking about, the the ultimate power of Emoto's work for us today, this consciousness that it's that he proved to us that water does carry memory. And like you said, water then is information, and
mhm.
information is energy.
Exactly. Yeah. Water, water has memory from the beginning of the earth, the birth of earth. And it's been what, I don't 4.6 billion years since the earth was born. And we are here, just a small, tiny time of this her earth life. And now, and who has polluted this earth besides humanity? Before the human was born, the dinosaurs were living. They never polluted the earth, but humans did in this short period of time. And now it's our responsibility to purify it with gratitude, with love. And if you can remember, when in 2020, when everybody was having that going through that difficult time, not knowing what was happening during COVID, um when pandemic started, all locked down, and airplanes stopped, no cars were running outside, no ships were in the ocean. Then in 2 weeks, the mother Gaia became so beautiful back to nature. The sky was all clean and blue, water was purified, and all the dolphins and fish came back. And so that's how fast the mother Gaia is trying to revive. So it has the ability to reborn or to revive, just like um uh, our body. So if we all can work together, it'll come back and reborn or revive beautifully, responding to our consciousness. That's what we're going to be doing next month in September, all together with you, Adrienne, and Russell, and all our friends in the United States.
Oh, it's so powerful because we look at the sensitivity of the crystal and the change, and then you remind us of how our bodies are water and so much water. And so the power of being aware of our consciousness and what we're um, the message we're putting out in our waters of our body.
Yes. We can bring your waters from everywhere you live, then we can put all together as one and pray to that water.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Okay.
Yes. Um, and so one of the other things I heard you say on this topic, it makes me think of as we're talking about this memory and the imprint of information and consciousness, and you said that there was a pole, a water pole in our DNA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, DNA has this what do you call that?
Double
And in
helix.
that
Mhm.
yeah, and in that center, or I don't know exactly where, but in the center of DNA there's water pole. And Dr. Emoto used to say that that's where he said that must be where the DNA keeps memory, holds memory of all the information. So we have the memory, our waters or DNAs have information or memories from our ancestors. And every ancestor's information is in within us. And this is why we want to always appreciate our ancestors, because just one person did not exist. I'm not here. I wouldn't be here, right? So, because of them, I am here. And through our DNAs, we can heal our ancestors. And healing our ancestors is healing ourselves because our water is connected.
That's beautiful. Like you said, we're one drop of the bigger consciousness. And
Mhm.
speaking of ancestry, you have talked about the connection to water in Japanese culture, and maybe you
Oh,
want to
okay.
um,
Well,
tell us a
connection
little
to
bit about
water.
that.
Thank you. Connecting to connection to water is actually connection to uh, nature. Here in Japan, we have had this beautiful culture of expressing what nature is, how we feel um, during winter when it becomes spring, how water in every different waters, we had names to different waters, more than 400. I heard there were more than 800 names to 800 types of rain. And that's how we were respecting and enjoying every small droplet of maybe fogs or small rain or dog cats and dogs you call a real bucket of water and all different kinds of water. We had names, and every water or rain we appreciated in our culture and enjoyed it. So that's
And isn't
our
that
culture.
and isn't that a beautiful way to talk to the water and
Yeah.
have that gratitude, brings that gratitude forward when you are paying attention and connecting to that. And I love that idea of bringing all of our waters together and having this beautiful experience of speaking to the water. Um, and so I wanted to just um talk a little bit more about how the peace
Peace
project,
project
yes, and the water festival, if you have the times of the when those meditations might be, or where we can find that information. We already gave us the link to the website.
link. I don't know if there's a schedule of the
Okay.
program of this event there in the English website, but we will have times of the prayers on the 20. Well, this is Japan time. Uh,
Okay.
fo- Between 4:25 to 4:50 of the 21st of September is once that we are going to connect with native people around the world to
Okay.
for and offer the prayer. And another
Okay.
one on the 22nd, we have three times because everyone lives in different countries and because there are time differences. So on the 22nd, we will be connecting with the natives um, at 10 o'clock, 10:05 to 10:25. That's once. The second time is 1:55 to 2:10 in the afternoon. And the third one is 2:35 to 2:55, all Japan time. So
Okay.
we will see how we can connect that time. So
Well, that's wonderful for people to know about that and to join our consciousness together for this very important work and connection. And then to bring the energy, keep it going as you come to the US at the end of September and October. So look out for more information about that. Um, and just so inspiring. Like you were talking about Dr. Emoto and what do you think you talked about him enjoying people having fun, and I think that's a beautiful note for us to kind of see for this tour, this water festival, that the mother, the waters, Dr. Emoto supporting us in this other level, all of the water experts, that there's this beautiful picture of that we can come back to fun and play. And what do you think he would want us to do, or what do you think he's thinking about this? You must have
he
this from working so closely with him, a continued connection.
I know he is the one who is really happy, most the happiest man um, right now because we are doing this. Because he always traveled everywhere, praying to water and asking. sharing this importance of love and gratitude and knowing about water and how our consciousness is creating our own world. It's there's law of resonance. The law of resonance is law of attraction, and the law of attraction is law of vibration. It's a law of the universe. So it really happens as a phenomena. And so he was really he would always pray and would have the huge events himself with 500, 1,000 people getting together and offering prayers also. So he would be, he's really happy, and he, I know, would be helping us, supporting us everywhere we go. And I would like everyone to please join us, and let's get together, think about water, and loving water, appreciating water, and being together in joy, happiness, and in harmony. And that's what he really wants to for us to share. And he will be there in spirit. His
Beautiful.
soul will be with
I
us.
can I can feel it. And such an honor to honor his work and be in that energy. It makes me think of how he first came into this as a healer doing this Hado machine.
Hado machine,
Hado, Hado
Hado
machine.
machine. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was healing people using this Hado machine. Hado means vibration. It's called MRA, MRA, magnetic resonance analyzer. And he found it in when he was traveling in the United States, and he bought it. Um he was healed himself. I mean, at that time when he was playing golf, he had his knee problem and it hurt. So this man who I can't remember his name, Lee Lorenzo, or is his name. He said, "Well, just spray this water, then pain will go away." So Dr. Emoto said, "Really, just by water?" And he sprayed, and then yes, the pain was gone. So that was the beginning. So he started to use this machine called MRA and brought it back to Japan. And he started helping people with that. And he had his own way of using that machine. He discovered why people, what was the root cause of the problem that each person had. And the root cause of the problem is negative vibration that they had. So he imprinted the positive vibration to neutralize that information, negative vibration. So that's, you can see, that's the balance. When the balance, it's well balanced, then you won't get disease, or it will recover. When the water is not in the good condition, we have the disease. So it's always water. That's how he started to um, do the research on water. So he was a
That's
healer.
that's so powerful because I'm a classical homeopath, and that was
Mhm.
as I was coming into my homeopathic training, I remember coming across his work and feeling this huge, just such gratitude for his work and that bringing it to us and validating this
Yeah.
medicine in that way. And so that resonant frequency, and that's how he found. And so talk to us about healing ourselves with water today, with our using our water to heal ourselves.
Well, if we have this machine, we have now this some kind different kinds of machines too. But if when I'm going to be taking this small Hado machine that I I really want to use during our tour, because that machine has some programs, and one of them is peace on earth. So I would be using that, a vibration to
Mhm.
neutralize that energy. But when we don't have the machine, just know that we are the machine.
Yeah.
And we use that,
We can
our
send the
machine
message.
message to water and say, I am healthy, I am happy, I am abundant, and thank you so much. If you have any disease, you can say, my disease is recovered, and thank you so much. I'm healthy and I'm happy. So you
Wonderful.
just keep doing that, and you
Yes, that
are the
seems to be
medicines.
a common practice that people have just every time you come into contact with water, when you're drinking water, bathing water, and bring forward that energy of gratitude for that
Hmm.
life-giving source, and how powerful to be able to speak to our own body through the water and heal ourselves in that way.
And I have a good suggestion for everyone. When you take a bath, hot bath, or when you take a shower and you wash your hands, when you use your water, just say, thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you for giving life. I love you so much. Then the water changes instantaneously, goes through and down to the soil. The earth will be happy,
That's
and
so
you'll
wonderful.
be happy
That's
because
so
you're getting
wonderful.
that water.
Yeah. Um, and so this power to be able to tell the message or the water can respond, and you said the root cause in this healing he found was negative thinking
Right. Well, like, depending on,
or
um
negative vibration, you said, maybe
right,
so.
right. It could be the cause could be, we discovered that a lot of cases, we, our DNAs from ancestors. Our ancestors had a very difficult time in the past. So some of our ancestors could have had some uh, physical problems or difficulty in living, or a psychological thing. We, whatever it was, we have that information within us. And then a lot of times, the third generation is being affected by that. So the grandchildren uh, are usually affected by our grandparents.
Mhm.
So, and then when we check even more, sometimes we can see why. For example, if I have, let's say, if I have the heart problem, then I go into that. Then every single organ has its in intrinsic vibration frequency, and when it's not well balanced, we have to make it balanced. So finding why I have the root the heart disease, and if it was a stress, or if it was something, the food I've been having for so long, then I um and then we have that vibration or code of the huddle code of that problem that we have. So we input the positive, the same code, but positive vibration to the same code of the water. So negative and positive makes the balance. In that, the client, then I drink that water every day.
Mm.
And
And so
after,
with our water and our consciousness, because you're saying you've been telling us that we are transmitting and emitting frequency because we are water, and we are all trying to heal and unwind these ancestral and belief system and patterns and programs. But you're saying we can just tell the water the positive version.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Like
yeah,
say if you have eh, um even when you're talking about example with health, that thank you for bringing me back to a healthy state is one of the phrases you've used before. So, say you come with this, we find ourselves in the negative thinking against
Mhm,
ourselves, or, that's always the way it is, or, and then
mhm.
can we stop and tell the water in the waters of our body the, the, a different story?
It does when we talk to our water. And the important thing is, the very helpful thing is when you continue to do that, a lot of times we stop doing it. See, keep sending that information to water. Then it will always change and keep changing. Then, when you realize you have the better condition, the condition that you want, because water always responds to what we say to water. And you're saying that to yourself too. And keep doing it every day, day after day. The moment that you remember it, and just don't forget doing that.
Thank you for that reminder. And when we come together and celebrate, it helps us remember to do these
Right.
things. Mhm. I
Yes.
just wanted to ask you a little bit. It's probably exciting I don't know when the last time you got to come to the US, but I'm not sure if you'll get to go back to your alma mater. I think, is it Lewis and Clark College
Yeah,
in
that
Portland?
was
Maybe
Lewis
you'll
and
be
Clark.
able to stop in there on your trip through.
Um,
Um,
it would be wonderful. I visited Lewis and Clark. I can't remember. It was probably about 2018, 19, around that time when I was in that area. So I was really happy that I was able to. It's really completely different, almost completely different from the time that I was in. That was 1983, 80, 1980 to 1984. No, three. So
wow.
really changed, but still,
Yes.
I was very happy to be there. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful campus.
And so you went to college, you were at college age when
Uh-huh.
you went there. And so
Right.
what made you get interested in language? How did you decide to just study
Um,
language?
I my major when I was in high school was English. So while I was in the English, I had two American native speaker teachers, and one of them was kind of a little older woman, and she did not speak any Japanese. So I don't know why she asked me to help. So I started helping her, and that way I naturally started to speak English. So at the when I was senior of high school, I had to decide whether I wanted to go to the university in Japan or what to do. And so at that time, I wanted to become, in the future, I wanted to become an interpreter, translator. So I naturally chose to go to the United States and keep speaking in English and study other languages. And that's how I took Spanish program and French and Italian. And I went to Costa Rica as part of my program. Mm.
That's wonderful. And you offered you're available for Spanish presentations in Spanish.
Yes.
So that's very
Hmm.
exciting. And I think that's so neat that even though you weren't translating so much, you ended up doing the copyright work for Dr.
Hmm.
Emoto, but it
Hmm.
was the translating that got you connected with his
Right.
work. And so I think it's so beautiful, and it's such an honor to talk with you today and have you translate the message from water for us,
Thank
this love
you.
and gratitude, and that we can then share back with the water. And so it's so wonderful to talk with you here, and I cannot wait to meet you in person and have this wonderful World Water Festival American tour after the World Water Festival. So find out more about the World Water Festival worldwaterfestival.net, I believe. Is that the link?
Worldwaterfestival.net.
Dot
And
net.
there's some English. Yeah. or
And more
slash
inform
English.
and more information in the information box below the video on that, as well as the water tour in the US and information about how to connect with Michiko. Michiko is also an author of 2 books, and A Love Letter to Water
Oh,
and
yeah.
Womb to Thrive, where she gathered information from experts about the life in the womb, which is all about water, right? Because and
Mhm.
and so thank you for that important work.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
wanted to
so much.
Thanks for being here. And I wanted to just close with a quote from Michiko, as we're talking about this was talking about the World Water Festival and what we're doing here, and it's so beautiful, bringing it all together. So Michiko said, "Let's do the water ceremony together so that you'll be happy and the whole earth will be happy. As long as we are happy, as long as we are grateful, as long as we are kind, the whole world will be filled with that beautiful energy. So let's start doing it, making the world a peaceful, harmonious place together." And I love that you said, let's start doing it. And here we are. And so coming back to the let's do it crystal, that beautiful collaborative energy. Um, and so thank you for translating for us the message
Thank you
of the
very
water
much.
and carrying on the beautiful work of Dr. Emoto. And it'll be wonderful to celebrate with this with you. And thanks for coming to the US and putting all
Thank
that work
you.
together for the World Water Festival. Can't wait to do that group meditation. So thanks so much for being here, Michiko. It's been wonderful to
Thank you
connect
so
with you.
much, Adrian. And thank you very much, everyone. Look forward to meeting everyone in the United States next month in September, at the end of September and October. Thank you.
Wonderful. I can't wait. Thanks, Michiko.
Okay, thank you.
Blessings.
Bye bye.
Bye.